Okay, next in Adobe After Effects, we'll discuss about lighting, right? So, what type of lightings are there in After Effects, right? So, let us first to understand the lightings, right? So, in Adobe After Effects, we have four types of lights are there, right? So, what are those? After Effects has four main lights types for 3D layers, right? The spotlight, parallel, point, and ambient light. Now, After Effects, there are four primary types of light layers used to illuminate 3D scenes. To create any of these, navigate to layer a new light in the top menu, right? So, first we have to understand clearly what are those. Spotlight, by this name, easily will understand the spotlight. This light creates a focused, okay? So, because it is a spot, a focused, cone shaped beam that originates from a specific point, much like a stage spotlight or a flashlight. It is the only light type that includes cone angle. It has the cone angle, right, and cone feather settings to control the width and softness of the beam's edges, right? So, the other one, there is a point light, right, similar to an unshaped light bulb. This source radiates light in all directions because it's a point light 360 degrees from a single position in 3D space. It is often used for ambient fill or simulating practical lights like lamps. The parallel light, also known as a directional light, this emits light in a single direction across the entire composition, mimicking distant light sources like the sun. Unlike pointer spotlights, its position doesn't change the angle of the light, only its orientation does. The next, the fourth one is ambient light. This light source provides soft, uniform illumination to every 3D layer in the scene regardless of their position. It doesn't have a specific source point or direction and cannot cast shadows, right? So, here one more thing is, to operate lights, for these lights to affect your composition, the layers you want illuminated must have their 3D layer switch enabled. This is very, very important. If you want to use these lights, the four lights, first you have to on the 3D layer switch. Okay, so first let us check the spotlight. Okay, it is a cone shaped, and understand that what is this. First take the new composition. This is my composition. And here I am using this solid layer with the same width and height 1920 by 1080, and the color is blue, suppose, right? So, say OK and lock this layer. Okay, so lock this one, it is locked. Now on this, you can create for timing any text to understand clearly. Okay, here I am using spot light. Okay, spotlight. So in default it is showing in white, so I'll keep this as TZ and check the alignment here, right, with the center alignment at the right side properties we have. Okay, next, after that what you have to do, change this layer to 3D, right? So here we have 3D switches there, so click on that. Now it is what, converted into a 3D. Okay, if you see this one, if you want to see this one, you can use the two angles. Suppose there are two angles are there, and right click here and you can on the camera. I'm using one node camera right now, and here it is the same default settings I'm using, the 35mm camera. Okay, so okay, it's done. Yeah, here also. Yeah, here we are. And you come to the front, or you can change this any side. For timing I'm using the top. Okay, here we are. Okay, then next what I'm doing, apply the light. So how to do that? So right click here, select new, and there is a light. So choose this light, and here we have different lights are there, the parallel light, spotlight, point light, and ambient light. So first check the spotlight, and here we have some settings. So light is showing in the white color. If you want, you can change this to any other color, right? So suppose I'm using right now, see, white only. And that intensity, cone angle, and cone feather is the same setting available. The spotlight options also, layer options, right? So the fall off none, and smooth or inverse square clamped. So the same settings are available here also. Okay, let us keep this as it is, and if you want, you can on the preview also. So let us say okay. Now see, this is your spotlight. Here it is showing the spotlight, and the spotlight has some settings. Okay, so move the camera the top, keep this here. Let us check this. The light options are there. So here the light options are there, and here the cone angle is there. So you can observe the cone angle. Yeah, here I'll keep this is the cone angle. And I'm keeping this. Yeah, this is, and I'm changing this cone angle to a little bit the small. Here it is. Right now the cone angle is 53. So here I'm giving one keep frame. I'll keep this here somewhere here. I'm using this cone angle, the higher here. Up to here. The wideness, the more here. Up to here. Yes, up to here. Now I'll move this the first key pose. So up to here. Yeah, let us keep there. Now it is coming to outside. Here I kept this, and I'll change this the cone angle here the more. So that means what it is, cone angle is changing. Now see, it is open, it is in dark. Now it is focusing on the subject. Okay, though here now if you want, you can change the color also. Suppose here it is showing white. Okay, the other side here I want to change this to a red. Now it is what, changing from a white to red. So because here we use this the color option, and the cone feather. Suppose here it is the cone feather is 50%, and the other size I am using the more. Now see the featherness here, it is adding. You see this one, you will understand here. The cone featherness added. Next here, the fall up is there. So right now fall up is in. You can use the smooth here. The radius is 500. Suppose the other side here, I am changing this to this much. Yes. Now let us play this one. The spotlight, it is what it is telling. On this spot, in the particular area, it is adding the light. So here it is, for understanding purpose, very easily, in an easy way, I am explaining. Here we have the fall of distance are there. See, some options are there here. So you can use this one, fall off at distance here. It is in 500, and even you can change this. And cast shadows, you can on this one, on the cast shadow, and here it is, suppose 100% it is showing. Okay. So let us keep the minus. The other side here I am using the more. Okay, spotlight is what? On that spot, it's like a cone. It is creating the light, right? So this is simple to understand. First, let us understand in a simple way. Then on the coming assignments, I will explain on the objects through assignments, right? So this is all about the spotlight.